This video is about claims, making them, and what they're worth. All too often in debates, and more commonly arguments with people, you'll see a claim being made. That's the point, really. So why make a video about it? You're probably not asking yourself. Claims have to be used correctly. This doesn't happen quite often enough. To make sure we're clear on this, what is meant by a claim is an assertion that is open to challenge. Making a claim means to assert in the face of possible contradiction. It's rather surprising that this fails as frequently as it does. The misuse of this particular thing is probably unintentional, but it still needs to be corrected. Here's the point. A claim is not evidence. It isn't proof of anything. If you say something is right, your claim amounts to saying, because I said so. If you say something is wrong, it amounts to the same thing, so what's the use of a claim? Well, it's a foundation for the rest of everything else. You can't stop at the claim, though. You have to provide something to back it up, to give it support, which is evidence. Here's where it gets convoluted. If you say you have evidence, you're simply making another claim. Without showing it or being able to present the evidence on demand, your claim is invalid. It's important to note that invalid does not necessarily mean false, but it also doesn't make it true automatically. Naturally, now we have to ask what evidence is. Simply put, it's testable and verifiable. This is different from personal experience, which often gets used as proof of things, but personal experience is just a testimony, someone's story of how something happened. It can accurately represent reality, but often it doesn't, and it doesn't provide any direct or indirect evidence of anything. It's merely a description, like in the case of eyewitness accounts. In court, eyewitness accounts are only used with other kinds of proof because eyewitness accounts are unreliable at best, and you can't send someone to jail just on an identification from a witness saying in the lineup, oh, it was him, I saw him. Memory can play tricks, and we can often misinterpret what we're actually seeing, so it's not valid that way. Another example is the Bible. It's often used as a proof of God, but at best it's testimony, a second or third-hand account by people who had a much weaker understanding of reality than we do now, of something they couldn't understand at all. So the claim is that the Bible is evidence. Why? Because the Bible claims that God exists. You see the problem there. It's a claim based on a claim with no evidence in sight. Even if the Bible was correct, despite the many contradictions of itself and all the things that have been proven wrong in the Bible, it still doesn't provide any direct or indirect evidence of anything. It's just a testimony, a story, which makes it invalid as evidence. Not necessarily wrong, though that's my personal opinion, just invalid as evidence. So, next time you make a claim, back it up with evidence, or you're going to be, dismissed very, very quickly. So, have a nice evening.